the cell I have to hold and hug him. After I agreed to put him on a CHINS program, he went out to Custard for smoking a little marijuana. I begged them to allow me to pay for him to go to drug rehab. They told me that wasn't an option. I'm from Brookings, South Dakota. Custard is 7-8 hour drive to even visit him. They never called me. He was sick since probably the third day that he got there. And they never called me and told me he was sick. He never told me because he always tried to protect me. And he talks, I have his thinking journal. It's in his own words. You can look at it, where he talks about he's sick. And they neglected him. On December 21st, I went out to Custard with a friend of mine to visit Brady for Christmas. Boy, did I get the surprise of my life. I walk into Star Academy, and they tell me my son's in Custard Hospital. So I asked them they're telling me where this hospital is, and I said, I'm not from here. So then they agreed to let someone show me where this hospital was. And there was 5 to 7 Star Academy people in the corner with the doctor, and a curtain pulled around me and Brady was in bed. And he was yellow, very jaundiced, and they're in the corner whispering, and all of a sudden they come and tell me they're gonna fly him across the state because he had a blockage in his pituitary vein going into his liver. And they said that they didn't have the proper equipment, but now after I cornered the governor, and that's what it took for me to get any reports to even get Brady's journal, and Brady's journal should have been my property that day. And you can see where they blacked out screens covering up exactly what was going on in Star Academy. I took it and I put it on a light table so that I could read it. I even called them and told them it wasn't acceptable, because I have other ones where you can read them clear as a bell in here. But for some reason, these have talked about Brady throwing up how many times. They didn't want me to see that. Then, if you look here, I got his medical reports. They started erasing things. I can't make it out what it says. I tried to darken it on copiers and I can't get it dark enough. And I've asked the governor himself, even recently, to sit down and talk to me, and he won't talk to me. Marty Jackley won't talk to me. Nobody will talk to me. They reluctantly gave me these because I wouldn't stop calling. He died on December 21st, 2013. And I still don't believe I have everything that was going on there. I believe Brady died from the work I've done, from the medication. They were administering him medications, never called me and asked me if he was allergic to anything. And I think he was having an allergic reaction to this drugs that they were giving him, so then they started giving him more drugs, like Tums, Tylenol, very deadly. You gotta read the label of your drugs, because when you mix them with these drugs, they're very, very deadly, and I believe that's what Brady died of, and they're trying to tell me the parvovirus is what he died of. I can show you his pathology report where it states he should be tested in 7 or 10 days later to make sure that that's what it was.
Can I ask you some questions, Dawn?
Yeah.
I know a little bit of your story. Now, Brady was shipped back to Sanford, correct?
Right, all the way across the state.
While he was that sick. Now, what did Brady do wrong? Was Brady ever arrested?
No, I went to...
Brady was never arrested.
I went and So I have blood on my hands, really, because I should have never ever believed in the state. You want to believe that the state is going to protect your children. They will not protect your children. They'll kill your children.
And didn't they also just make you foot the bill also when they should have?
Right. I have bill collectors call me to this day. I refuse to pay them. I'm not paying for them.
For his medical.
Right.
Now, he was awarded the state at that time, right?
Right.
So the state should have paid all of his medical bills.
Right, but the Steve Pochow, this is really peculiar, he called me and told me he was going to give me custody of Brady back. Well,
when did he say that?
When I was out in Custard. I have on my phone
The
documents.
21st.
Right.
The day he died.
Mm-hmm. Well, then they flew him across the state, and he passed away. I asked for an autopsy. All of a sudden, the state had control over that autopsy.
Did they do one?
No, I had it done at Avera. I asked for Brady to go to Sanford, and Dr. Radcliffe told me, yep, that's where he would go to have his autopsy. And I was comfortable with that. Then the funeral home called me and told me that Brady, he could see it was done. I'd call Avera and they say, we don't see anything. No, I'd call Sanford, because that's where I thought it was done. Nobody told me it was changed. Nobody. So
Did you ever get the autopsy?
I finally did after the coroner called me, because I kept calling and was persistent and saying, the funeral home's telling me. And Sanford thinks I'm cracked.
Sure. Is there anything that you could tell that could prevent this in the future? What?
Don't ever let the state have a control over your children, ever. Never, ever.
I'm going to come up there and show you some pictures also. Now, is there anything else you want to tell us real quick?
No.
Thank you so much.
Except for, you know, if you don't want to believe me, I have boxes and boxes of evidence
sure
that
do.
I've researched.
This is a brave lady to be able to talk like this, so please